Hi there, come back again with another Blu-ray DVD update. It's been a little while since my last one. I had a bunch of stuff that I was going to show, but today I had a huge score, so I'm going to hold off on some of the titles until the next video. But so right away, let me just say two things. One, it's very hot in here, and I got a fan right on me. I apologize if it's loud or anything, or if it's annoying on the video. And secondly, as I said, I did a good score, so I'm going to split this into two parts in the same video. So just the first part here, I'm going to show you stuff I've been picking up, new releases a lot, and then the second part, I will show you this awesome score that I picked up for a total of $60. So, first off, let's get into some new things that I picked up. I picked two DVDs up off of Amazon Marketplace because I've been wanting to get them for a long time. They're pretty pricey, but I found them really cheap on the used side of Amazon in the Marketplace. So, I used to love this movie. I watched it so many times. That is The Insane Clown Posse in Big Money Hustlers. This is written by them and all that, and it's got Twisted, Jerky Boys, Rudy Ray Moore, Mick Foley. You got Jump Steady, his brother, Violent J's brother. You got Harlan Williams as Harry Sack, and this is just a funny movie, kind of like a gangster sort of spoof film with ICP. It's all over the top. If you're a fan of the Insane Clown Posse, you're gonna love this. They also brought out multiple years later. I think it's like 10 years later, they came out with the sequel, Big Money Rustlers, which is the same sort of idea, just taking place in a Western setting. It's very silly. Jason Mewes is in this movie, as you can see on the title there. Mark Jury, Twisted again, is in this. The Good, the Bad, and the Outrageous. This one is definitely not as good as the first one. It's not as funny to me. But it definitely has its moments, and it did make me laugh a couple times, especially Jay Mewes. Yeah, so I've wanted to get these for a while and rewatch, especially the first one. And these guys were on Stern recently, talking about how they were going to be making a third film in the future called Big Money Thrusters, and it's going to be a space sort of film. So that's cool. So I've wanted to get those for a while, and I just didn't want to pay a lot. So yeah, and the rest of the stuff for the first part of this video are all Blu-rays, and yeah, they're pretty much the rest, other than one DVD, is all Blu-rays for the rest of the video. So if you don't like DVDs, you're in for a treat, I guess. Anyways, so I picked up this movie. I've been waiting for it in the mail for a while. Got it for about $5, I think, total. Pretty cheap. And that was, Daylight. That's starring Stallone here. And, to me, it reminds me of Cliffhanger in the way that he's this guy who's kind of been trained in, saving people's lives in dangerous situations, and then he's kind of stepped away from it, due to some, tragedy slash there's like a big thing about, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but anyways, so, and he gets drugged back into that occupation through circumstance, and pretty much what happens is a tunnel ends up, through some non-spoiler events, some things happen, and a bunch of people end up trapped in a tunnel, and Stallone, big bad Sylvester, has to go in there and save them. This is a pretty cheesy, over-the-top movie, and it kind of is trying to be a 90s disaster sort of action film. Something like, it reminds me of Volcano. It really makes me want to watch Volcano, even though it doesn't have a volcano, and it has that feel of it to me. So, yeah, Stallone, this movie is not, like, by any means great, but at one point, Stallone breaks down and has a full-on, unintelligible, dialogue that you just don't understand. He freaks out and punches a wall. It's fantastic. Then any movie where he does that in it, I'm down. So that's Daylight. Good movie. It's directed by Rob Cohen, who directed the original Fast and Furious. So moving along, this movie is something that I've been wanting on normal Blu-ray forever now, but the release that is on Blu-ray in my region, here in Canada, it is the director's cut. Now, most of the times I'd be like, oh, that's fine, but for this, it's a big deal, and that is Payback here. So I ended up having to go and do a little investigating. I ended up finding that there is a region-free edition with both the cuts of the movie on it. So I was able to get it, and it wasn't even really that expensive. It was a good price. So I'm happy with this. I'm not a fan of this, but I guess at the same time, I've dealt with bilingual French writing on my spine, so that's not the biggest deal in the world, having that on the spine, not on the front. These age ratings, but yeah, so the original cut was awesome. It has Chris Christopherson in it. It has a really cool blue look to it, a blue palette look to it, and just generally it moves along a lot better. And then they released the director's cut, which is quite different. There's this whole story about what happened, if you want to find out what happened, why the director was kind of taken away from the project and they went ahead without him. There's a documentary, I believe, on this, and that DVD, Blu-ray, but I don't like the director's cut. I don't like Chris Christopherson being removed from the movie, or in this case, I guess they put him into the movie, and that's the original version I saw, and it just was so much better. So I like that better. They didn't have it on Blu-ray. They only had the director's cut. I don't like getting, import movies just because I don't know, I just don't love the symbols on the side, and I'd rather just have it from where I'm from, just to be safe, I don't want to order something and it not work. But did my homework. This was a great deal, and I'm super happy. I already watched it already. It looks great on Blu-ray. Love that movie. It's kind of like a neo-noir. Reminds me of Max Payne in a little bit, but without all the demons and ghosts and shit. Anyways, so the rest of these movies, the rest of the 4 movies I have for the first part are all new releases. So we got Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. They released Lion King 1, 1.5, and then 2, Simba's Pride. I don't really like 1.5. I honestly think it's kind of garbage. It's actually the third movie, but it takes place in between the 2 films, and it kind of bounces back from what I remember. I have it on VHS, so if I ever want to rewatch it, there I go. But I didn't want to spend nearly $30 on it for a movie I don't like. Lion King 2, on the other hand, I love. I think it's actually really good and probably one of the best sequel Disney movies that we've ever gotten. And the original, the signature release, the Walt Disney signature release for the original film, they released it. It did look nice. I thought it was beautiful. Loved the slip, but I have it already, and I have the 3D edition with the slip for Diamond. So I'm the Diamond edition. So I'm fine with that. So I like this one a lot. I think Andy Dick's in this, and he has a really cool character. And yeah, great movie. If you like the first one, I think if you haven't seen the sequel, The Lion King, you should definitely check it out. It's a lot better than you might think. Picked up the sequel to Goon. I love the original Goon. I think Jay Baruchel wrote a great movie, and I thought Sean William Scott's performance was great, as with everyone. The team, the chemistry between all of them, and his little love story between his girlfriend, and even the story between him and his parents, and kind of living outside what they wanted from him. In this film, I thought maybe it might have sequelitis, and I was happy to say that it definitely went on and did its own thing. I liked it. It told its own story. It definitely didn't recap the first one, really. And it does, and you get a hockey movie again with fights and bloody knuckles and all that. But it tells a different phase of this guy's career, and it's interesting. I thought it was really good. It's got a good dramatic edge to it, while at the same time being very funny. Liev Schreiber returns. His character is a lot better, more richer in this one than the first one. Jay Baruchel's hilarious in this movie. He actually directs and writes this time around, and I think this is his debut film directing, so he does a really, really good job. I can't remember her name. I'm not sure I'm gonna get her name right, but his girlfriend, she returns. She is excellent again. She was great in the first one. I think she does an even better job in the second one. Alicia Cuthbert joins the cast. Kim Coates as the coach again. Yep. And what is Wyatt Russell? Now that is Kurt Russell's son. He was in Everybody Wants Some, Richard Linklater's film. And he was great in that, and he is great in this movie. Guy looks just like his dad from The Thing. It's crazy how much he resembles him. But he's great in this movie. He's kind of like the big villain this time around. And if you like the original one, you're going to like this one. It's not as good as the first one, but at the same time, it's great. It's still a good watch, and you're going to like it, I think. So that's Goon, Last of the Enforcers. Now we're moving on. I was pretty excited about this since Straight Outta Compton, and I picked up All Eyes on Me. Legends Never Die. I don't really like that. This is a really good biopic. The guy that they got to play Tupac was excellent. He looks a lot like him. The resemblance is pretty crazy sometimes. And he does a good job acting, especially for his first time out. He also does really good performances as well as Tupac, like musical performances. He's not actually singing, obviously, but he's doing the whole stage thing and lip singing. He does a really good job. Overall, it's a pretty full performance. It's got great cast overall. The girl who plays her mother, I believe it was the same woman from Fences. She's great. You get Suge from Straight Outta Compton, the guy who played Suge Knight in that movie. He comes to this. They did have Dre in this movie, but is not the character or the actor who played him in Straight Outta Compton, which was a disappointment. But at the same time, it was such a small moment in the movie that it didn't really bother me that much. And the guy did a fine job. And Snoop Dogg, the guy who plays Snoop Dogg, was really good. But overall, I think it really covered a lot of really important moments throughout Tupac's life. I'm a pretty big fan of Tupac. I really like a lot about his lyrics and who he was and what he stood for. So this movie is really interesting to see it all play out. And yeah, it was cool to see that inside look. Obviously, it's a film, things are dramatized, but you know, it just felt very it felt authentic to me, even though it did also feel like a film, you know, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I'm even explaining myself properly, but yeah, it's a good movie. I like the way how it's paced. It doesn't really waste too much time. It's not too long. I watched it the first day I got it, and then I watched it the next night with no problem. Didn't pass out or anything, so that's Tupac's All Eyes on Me. Look forward to that, and I was happy to say it's a really good movie. So that's All Eyes on Me. Now, moving along, so yeah, this is the final movie for the first part of this video, and that is the surprise to me, Wonder Woman. Holy Christ, was this a good movie. Yeah. I didn't go see this in the movie theater because of just the track record that DC was having at the time. And it's not to say that I don't hate Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, or Suicide Squad. I just think all of those movies are a little underwhelming in certain aspects, progressively more so with each film. Man of Steel I actually like quite a bit. There's a few moments throughout it where I'm like, what the fuck? Batman vs. Superman had a few elements that bugged me, and Suicide Squad, although it was relatively a fun movie, it had lots of problems going on throughout it. This movie, on the other hand, wow, it turned things around. This, to me, is one of the best comic book movies I've ever seen. I love it. I'm not just blowing it up because maybe you're thinking, this is you just seen this movie. How can you say it's up there with some of the greats? Well, I've watched it fucking 4 times since I picked it up, and it's amazing. It holds up, gets better every time. It tells an origin story, but it doesn't rub it in your face or get old and stale. It moves the story, and the origin is told throughout it. And her character is really well done. I think this Gal Gadot woman here is perfect for the role, and she just plays her just right. I love the whole element how she comes from, I don't want to spoil too much in case you haven't by any chance seen it, but she comes from a place where I'm trying to say it without spoiling it. Well, I guess I can spoil a little bit. Her whole race of tribe of women are this race of beings that were created by the gods, okay? And she is special. I'll say that. But they're created by the gods, and they're just awesome. And just like where she comes from, she doesn't know anything about like gender or like, you know, like how especially at the time this takes place during World War I, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But during that, there's like, you know, women were looked down upon in a lot of different aspects, and she doesn't even think about that at all. So you see the movie through her eyes, and it's kind of interesting. She doesn't even understand that at all, and she just kind of barrels her way through it every time that it comes up. It's funny, but it's just great. The movie, it's a great film and story itself, and then you get the awesome action that you hope that you get with movies like this, and it doesn't disappoint. It looks amazing on Blu-ray. This is one time where I kind of, you know, wish I would have got the 4K. I don't even have a 4K player yet, have the TV, but I kind of wish I would have got this on 4K, so when I do get a player, because this movie looked amazing. The end of this movie alone, all I'm going to say, not spoiling anything, but all I'm going to say, Ares walking through the fire, one of the best scenes I've seen in a long time. Looked amazing. So, yeah, Chris Pine is in this movie as well. Their paths collide in a pretty interesting way, and he is excellent in the film as well. But she really carries the whole thing. Action's amazing. Best movie in the DC cinematic universe by far. Even the soundtrack to this movie is great. Awesome. Probably one of the best movies of the year to me, easily. Go see Wonder Woman if you got your spirits hurt by the prior DC films. At least watch this one. Check it out. Hopefully Justice League is good, but I get the feeling like people were saying, "Oh, this redeems the DC universe." I don't know. Justice League's coming out, and it kind of looks like it might be a little bit of a jumbled mess, to be honest, but whatever. Moving along, that's Wonder Woman. Highly recommend that. Definitely check it out if you have not. Good Lord, was that a good movie. So the second part of the deal is a steal of a deal. You may have seen this before in prior videos. I know this dude who owns a tiny video rental shop, and it's kind of you know, not really working out for him anymore. It's kind of hard up for him, but he does like to buy and sell. He's thinking of doing that a lot more at like flea markets and stuff, but that's not the point. Right now he has a store and he buys big lots, and when he gets them, he tells me to come right in. He gives me a call now. It's great. And one of my favorite parts is he doesn't care about slipcovers at all. And I ask him, I'm like, "Hey, could I buy any of these slipcovers off you?" And he's just like, as long as you buy a bunch of movies, you can just have whatever slipcover you want. And it's fucking awesome. And like, he doesn't care at all. He's just like, "What are you doing with them?" And I'm like, I just love having them on my movies. If I have a movie and it doesn't have that, I want to get that. And he's like, "Oh, sure." So he doesn't care at all. It's freaking great. This deal here, I got 12 Blu-rays, some of which are quite rare. I've done some research on a couple of them that I was like, whoa, this one I've never even heard of or seen. And they're actually quite expensive and out of print, some of them. I got one DVD, show you that first, and he gave me that for free, and all the slipcovers for free. So all together, 12 Blu-rays, one DVD, 8 slipcovers, $60. I was blown away. I was like, yeah, that's an amazing deal. I will do that all day long, sir. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The first thing that I got for free is just kind of as I was leaving, I was like, "Hey man, can I pick this up as well?" He's like, "Just take it." And that is Saturday Night Live, The Best of Will Ferrell, Volume 2. I don't have Volume 1. I don't have Volume 3. I'm pretty sure there is a Volume 3. Don't have any of the other ones, but I do have a bunch of Saturday Night Live releases, and oh, excuse me, I'm a little gassy. I just drank some Coca-Cola there. But yeah, I don't have the other two, but I'm looking forward to it because Will Ferrell is hilarious. Hence why he gets 3 volumes on the Saturday Night Live. I don't think anybody but Alec Baldwin's got multiple volumes. So yeah, just quickly I'll show you the slipcovers because I'm super freaking stoked about some of them. So the first one that I was just like, oh my god, and a bunch of these things, it's just kind of like, you're in a store by yourself, and anybody who collects movies or anything like that probably knows this feeling. You're in a or you're in a store looking for movies or whatever it is you collect all by yourself, and you'll see something you're like, you've been looking for forever, and you jump on it, and you're like, oh my god, get away, and no one's around. You're all in there alone, and you're acting like someone's gonna take it from you. But this is an example of that. Right as soon as I seen the slipcover, I'm like, oh my god, and he just gave it to me for free. That is Iron Man. I have been looking for this slipcover forever. It is the only I have another Marvel Universe movie that's a steelbook, so I don't need a slip for that. But the rest of them I have all slips on, and I didn't have one for Iron Man, and it was driving me nuts. And then the new slipcovers they released, I get a bunch of them in my store. I'm like, oh, cool, they're gonna get an Iron Man slipcover. Nope. So just happened to find it today. It's just great. Iron Man, and it's in pretty decent condition. It's not really banged up on the corners. It's pretty shiny, very embossed. I'm not sure. I don't think I have the 2-disc edition, but I don't care. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is a slipcover that I've wanted since I got the movie. I was bummed that when I got the movie without it, but so it's a good deal at the time. My buddy has a slipcover. He's been rubbing it in, and I'm like, I'll give you $15 for that slipcover. And he's just like, he's like, no, I'm keeping it. And he doesn't even collect. He just has it, and he's being an arse. But anyways, so I'm happy to get it now, and I can giggle at him. Willow. I've wanted this slipcover for a while. It is in mint condition. Even has a little sticker there on it still. Usually I don't care, but when it's like an anniversary sticker or something like that, I like to keep it on. And that's just awesome. So, Willow, for free. Apocalypse Now. Had this for a while. Need a slip for it. That's really cool. That one's minty as hell. This one's a little banged up, and it's got a little sticker damage on it, but it's got a really cool lenticular, so it bugs me, but at the same time it doesn't, because look at that lenticular. That is dope. Hit it for Hellboy 2, the Golden Army. But as you can see, got a little torn up there. I'm going to try and do a little, I don't even know, goo gone and to get it off of there. I don't know, but look at that. That's so cool. The comic book to the real one, or the live action. That's cool. Hellboy 2 slipcover number 5. Stargate. Had this forever. I didn't even know it had a slipcover, to be honest. Pretty cool. Not my favorite movie in the world, but whatever. Neither's this, but still cool to get the slip. Mint condition. White House Down. I like that movie. I know it's not universally liked. But, anyways, got Unforgiven. That's pretty cool. And, I found another, slip. I didn't even really know about these releases. Best of Warner Brothers. So this is one that I found that was pretty cool. And I didn't know this next one had a slip. And I'm very, very happy, because this is one of my, this is like, if I was to do a top 10 films, this is definitely in the top 10. The Shining. I didn't know this had a slip. I didn't know really any of these Best of Warner Bros. The only one I've ever seen is right here. Yeah, right here, and I don't have a slip for it, which is annoying. But I do got a slip for The Shining, and that is very, very cool. It's got a very cool sticker. 90 years, I guess it was celebrating. Very cool. Very, very cool. That is 8 awesome slipcovers, some of which are pretty freaking rare, all for free. So that's an awesome part of dealing with this guy, and like, he doesn't care at all. I've even told him, like, people sell those things for quite a bit of money. He's like, well, I got them for you if you ever want them. They're always here, bud. He doesn't care at all. He just wants to move them. So I just need a little drink there before I get into this. So I have 12 Blu-rays, and 6 of which are upgrades from DVD. So that's great. and then the other 6 are completely new additions. So I guess I'll show the upgrades first, because I don't really need to talk about them too much. But first things first, I got In the Line of Fire. Had this on Blu-ray or DVD for a long time now. It looks to be the exact same edition, just simply in HD. Has all the special features, from what I can tell. And yeah, so I love this movie. John Malkovich is a awesome, crazy wood pistol making motherfucker. So then we picked this one. Was one of those moments where I was like, oh my god, and I jumped on it like someone else was gonna take it when there was no one else in the store. That is The Cable Guy. I kind of acted like The Cable Guy when I seen The Cable Guy. This is the 15th anniversary edition. Absolutely mint. All of these are in pristine, like, when it comes to the cases are so clean, and the insides of all the discs are completely mint. So this guy who buys these lots that called me, he bought it from obviously a collector. Somebody who didn't smoke in their house, and someone who definitely took a lot of care in not scratching their discs, or there's someone who didn't watch them a lot, because a lot of the stuff they had was sealed. So that was really cool. I told them already. I've sent them another message, and I told them when I was in the store that you know, I just didn't have that much money on me, or I would have bought way more. So I just told them, I'm like, hey, when I get a little bit more extra money to spend, it is a little bit of a drive, about a half hour away. It's not a big deal, but I don't have a vehicle myself, so I have to get a ride. It's not that big of a deal. I got some friends that'll help me out here and there, but you know, I do have to get to them. So, but I told them, I'm like, there's a few more titles here. If you could hold these for me, no big deal. But anyways, let's get back to what we got here. This movie here, now, new. I've seen it go new online, at least on Amazon in Canada, so that's always what I check right away, because that's what I would usually get it through. Even on the used sellers, like new, this goes from like $100 to almost $200 I've seen. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. I'm sure I could even import it cheaper than that, but I don't know. I guess it's really hard to find this new, and even used, the which way I just found it, which, when you round up all this, 12 titles, pretty much is all I paid for. The DVD and the slipcovers are free to me. I paid $5 for this. Yeah. I think used, I think the cheapest I seen, I didn't even check eBay, probably get it cheaper on eBay, was $88. So that's crazy. I wasn't going to pay that. I never thought I would get this, because I did know it was expensive, but I didn't know it was that expensive. I checked it out a couple months ago. But this is a great movie. I love it. Ben Stiller directs. This has got, I would imagine, tons of special features. No, that's not gonna focus, is it? Well, it's got tons of features from the looks of it. But yeah, that's The Cable Guy. I've wanted this forever, and I can't believe I found it for $5. That's an amazing deal to me. It's, I guess, super out of print. I don't know what the deal is. The next two here I've had on a double feature DVD forever now, and I've always wanted to upgrade them, because I think they're great enough movies to have individually and on Blu-ray. So that is, let's start, High Fidelity. It's a really awesome John Cusack sort of a, I guess it would be a comedy drama. So a dramedy. I hate saying dramedy, but yeah, I guess that's kind of what you would say this is. And it's about this dude who works at a record store with Jack Black, and it's a love story, and it's got a bunch of stuff going on in it, and it's funny. It has a lot of good moments, and John Cusack's great in it, as always. So that is High Fidelity. And the second part of that double feature that I'm replacing with 2 Blu-rays is Grosse Point Blank. Awesome movie. I guess the same people were involved. I'm not exactly sure how. I just tried to look, but I couldn't see why they're, because this High Fidelity says from the creators of, or from the guys who brought you Grosse Point Blank. Now I'm not sure exactly. But anyways, Grosse Point Blank, really funny movie about this hitman who goes back to his high school reunion. Sorry, it's very hot and my throat's getting dry. Just, I don't know, it's September and it feels like July. It's ridiculous here in Canada. But yeah, we got Grosse Pointe Blank. Dan Aykroyd's hilarious in this movie. Minnie Driver. Alan Arkin. This is a great movie. This is a movie I used to see on TBS like every other day. But yeah, this is a great movie, and I've been really wanting to rewatch it, and I've been holding off, because I see this sometimes on Amazon, super cheap. So, perhaps maybe I should have bought it on Amazon and picked out a little something more rare, but, this is what I wanted right away. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to the guy. This is a movie I picked up a while ago on DVD, and I'm happy to. I didn't even know it had a Blu-ray, so I'm sure it's been out for a while. Let me see, I'm having a hard time seeing what year the Blu-ray was made. I don't know. Who cares? I don't know. I didn't know this was out on Blu-ray, and that is Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. This is really cool. It has a cool connection to Jackie Brown as Michael Keaton what's the word I'm looking at? Reprises his role as Detective Nikolai from Jackie Brown, so that's very cool. And this is a really good movie in itself about this a smooth criminal who bends the law and is determined to make out one last heist, and then he gets involved with U.S. Marshal Jennifer Lopez, who, honestly, if she got involved with you and you're a criminal and she doesn't want that, you're gonna be a criminal, and she's saying, no, come and hang out with me? Yeah, I'll definitely hang out with J-Lo over being a freaking thief any day. So I don't know. Maybe she has a terrible personality. I don't know. Looks aren't everything, huh? But anyways, but it is J-Lo. Anyways, this last upgrade here is really cool. Above the Law I have on another DVD compilation set. I had Under Siege 1 and 2 on a double feature DVD set, so that's awesome. I got rid of the Under Siege 1 and 2, got them on Blu-ray, and I got Above the Law on Blu-ray, which is really good. Another one I need to get next is Out for Justice, because that movie's dope. I really wish I could get all of them on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure there's a couple that aren't on Blu-ray, so back in the day, Steven Seagal was a shit. His movies now are shit. They suck. But, I mean, honestly, I don't ever watch them, so I don't know if my opinion's valid because they're shit, because I haven't seen them and I'm calling them shit, but I see enough about them to tell you pretty good that they're poop. But he used to make really good movies, especially when he was working for Warner Brothers. He was banging them out. Really good movies. And this is a really cool set. It comes with a slipcover. I've never seen this set either. I've seen the double feature with Under Siege 1 and 2. I've never seen this triple feature. And they tend to go really not all that cheap on Amazon. Sometimes you'll luck out, but for some reason here in Canada, these awesome blue, there's a lot of these ones that are like metallic blue and white. They vary from different studios as well, and they're not all that cheap here in Canada. So moving along, we have, I think I have to let in my cat, but I'll do this quick. We have 6 left, then I have to feed my cat. I hear him meowing outside. So I got 6 left. The first one here, this one I was walking out, and as I had $50 worth, and then I seen 2 more movies, and well, I seen this, and then I'm like, okay, I have $60, might as well spend the 60, and this here led to spending $10 more, because I had to get something else after this to make it an even 60. But regardless, that is Black Sabbath live, Gathered in Their Masses. I don't know anything about this other than it seems to be a Blu-ray concert live from Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, 2013. Awesome. I would imagine this has... Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't have any of the... No. It does have at least one song from the album 13 that they did, their final album together. So this is a classic concert, which is even better, because I love that 13 album, but that's awesome. Even this has got War Pigs, Into the Void. Oh, there's another song, Loner. So it does, okay. Snowblind, Black Sabbath, Behind the Wall, Nib, I can never say this, Methodemic, that's off the new album. I can't say it though. Fairies Wear Boots, Symptom of the Universe, Iron Man, End of the Beginning, Children of the Grave, God is Dead, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, fucking right, and then Paranoid. You know what? I'm fucking watching this today. Tonight, I gotta go see Kingsman, the sequel there, The Golden Circle, or whatever it's called, and I'm going to see that tonight, so maybe afterwards I'll go check this out. So yeah, moving along. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if that's worth a lot, but anytime I see Ozzy or Black Sabbath Blu-rays, he's my favorite musician. He's just kick-ass, so I always pick up his movie, or anything that he does, really. So, Dantes Peak, we picked up. This is the other movie that I was like, okay, need one more movie. Don't have Dantes Peak. It was kind of right there. I should have picked up Waiting, because I have that movie, and I like to upgrade when I can cheat, but I'm sure it'll still be there, hopefully, when I go back. But this is Dantes Peak. Great. Not vampire. Volcano movie. It's much more traditional Volcano than the movie Volcano, Tommy Lee Jones. And people always like to say whether they like one or the other better. I like them both. I think they're both kick-ass, and this is a really good movie. Linda Hamilton, Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, so I'm trying to see, when did this movie come out? 1997. So yeah, Dantes Peak. That's pretty cool. Volcanoes, James Bond. Okay, so this one here is a frickin' movie I've wanted for a long time, and for whatever reason I don't have it yet, and now I do. That is The Silence of the Lambs, Clarice. Would you like some fava beans? Frickin', this is a great movie with Hannibal Lecter. Everybody loves this movie. There's nothing to not love about it. It's frickin' awesome. What's his name? Wild Bill? No, Buffalo Bill. Wild Bill. Why am I fucking that up? Buffalo Bill puts the skin on, or the lotion on the skin, or gets the hose again. Fucking skin basket. You know what I'm saying? My cat's meowing again. It's distracting me. I can definitely do that impression better, I swear to God. Anyways, that's Silence of the Lambs. Great movie. Don't know why I didn't have it, and I definitely want it for this Halloween, because it's a great movie for that time of year. Anthony Hopkins' performance in that is phenomenal. And Jodie Foster ain't no slouch either. And the guy who plays Buffalo Bill. Don't know his name. He's in lots of good stuff, though. So here's a really good double feature. Still Sealed. I haven't seen them since way back in the day. I don't remember much about them. But I'm happy to own them now, so I can definitely check them out. I've never seen the sequel. I know that for sure, now that I think about it. I have seen the original. And that is Billy Crystal, Robert De Niro in Analyze This, Analyze That, double feature on Blu-ray here. $17.99. Someone paid for it at Best Buy. $5. So I really like Billy Crystal in anything comedy. Obviously, De Niro's great, and put him in a movie with Billy Crystal, he's probably going to be pretty funny. Both of them points out that it has Lisa Kudrow in it. So, yeah, it doesn't seem to have any special features of any kind, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. Analyze This, Analyze That. I'm looking forward to checking these out. I like the first one from what I remember. And yeah, Billy Crystal. I'd like to have all his good comedies, because he doesn't make enough of them anymore. So the second last one here is a really cool digibook. So that is Silverado. This one even has its little card on the back. Hasn't even taken it off. I don't think I'm gonna get that off easily. Yeah, I can. I'm not gonna take it off right now. The back doesn't. Yeah, it looks like it's the same there. It probably is just more of a picture. So I'm gonna try and take that off. I'll keep it. But yeah, Silverado, this is a really good Western. If you've never seen it, it's got an amazing cast. Kevin Kline, Scott Glenn, Rosanna Arquette, who's great in this movie, from what I remember. John Cleese, Kevin Costner, Brian Dennehy, awesome in everything he's ever been in. Linda Hunt, Jeff Goldblum, Danny Glover, and yeah, this is a great Western. I had known nothing about this movie. I'd never heard about it. My boss was like, oh, I was into Westerns at the time. My boss was like, oh, you've never seen Silverado? Boy. So I did, and it was amazing. And look at this beautiful digibook. Yeah, my cat's going crazy. I gotta wrap this up, but I can hear him outside. Let me in, I want my food. Or, let me in, you need to get me my food. So, but yeah, Silverado, I looked this up. It's not necessarily hugely expensive, but it's not cheap either, especially this digibook version. So, if you've never seen this movie, you like Westerns, check this movie out. It's great. Haven't seen it in a while. Looking forward to checking that out. It's pretty long from what I remember. 132 minutes. Not too bad. Now, 2 hours, 10 minutes. So, finally, for this update, this great, awesome, random score today. This is kind of what Blu-ray collectors live for, when you get an awesome deal like that. And, you know, you fill some pretty good holes in your collection. Hugh said fill holes. And you know, you get some pretty cool rare stuff. Now, let's cut the juvenile shit out and get to this last Blu-ray so I can feed my cat. And that is Jade. This movie I didn't know anything about. I just looked at it, I'm like, huh, the cover looks pretty awesome. Some fantasies go too far. The only reason this doesn't look like a porn to me is because it's got David Caruso and Chaz Palminteri in it, and Linda Florentino. So I was like, okay, it must be a movie, right? Looked at the back, and I'm like, William Friedkin, directed by, one of the best directors ever. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this up. Never heard anything about it. Doesn't have any special features other than a trailer, it looks like. But, you know, if I haven't seen a William Friedkin movie, and I find a William Friedkin movie, I'm buying the William Friedkin movie. The freaking William Friedkin movie. This movie here looks like a stylish, suspenseful thriller. It looks a little like maybe has a lot to do with money, sex, power. But yeah, don't know anything about this movie. Looked it up. This goes for quite a bit of money as well. I think the cheapest I could find it for was $100. Or no, that was the other one. No, I don't know. It was expensive. It was like almost $100. I don't know exactly what it was, but I remember every time I watch a William Friedkin movie, I remember going, "Wow, that movie's great. Why have I never watched it before? And I should watch more of his movies." So, yeah, that's Jade. I'm happy to have this. I'm going to check it out, and hopefully it's great. So, yeah, that is everything. Picked up a lot of good titles here. I actually had more, like I said, but I'm holding off until I can do another video, because this one, as you see, has taken 40-something minutes. So, yeah, let's just wrap it up by taking you up, see what I got. So, yeah. Looking over everything I got one last time. Great score here. 12 Blu-rays, 1 DVD, and 8 awesome slipcovers. $60. So yeah, if you have anything to say about any of these titles, about the deal itself, you go ahead and you leave a comment below. And yeah, as always, go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you like. And as always, again, until the next time, enjoy.